And that's how the theme song goes. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Constitutionals. I'm your host, Chad White. If you didn't know, this is the premier podcast for cpluscomedy.com. It's a website. Go there. Again, as I said, I'm Chad White. Okay, let's get into it. Let's just hop right into it. Today, this is Monday, the Monday before Halloween. I hope you all had a nice, safe Halloween. I hope you guys had a nice, safe Halloween weekend, the weekend before, which is when people had the parties and stuff. Speaking of parties, I was invited to a party. I went to a party, first in a very long time, and it was great. Started at 11 o'clock at night. I'm a very old person. I'm an old person at heart. I'm an old person at soul. I'm an old person in my brain. Why is a party start at 11 o'clock at night? Why? I had to take a pre-nap, and I couldn't because I was playing Super Mario Odyssey for a very long time after I got home from work when I finally got a chance to sit down. But why does a party for people start at 11 o'clock at night? And I showed up. I showed up at like 11:15, and I was still early. People, by the time I left at 2 o'clock, people were still coming in. It's crazy. It's madness. I don't understand it. How do people stay up so late? Well, because they wake up later in the day. I like to wake up and enjoy my morning and my day. 7 o'clock a.m., 8 o'clock on Saturdays, 5:30, Monday through Friday. I love it. I like to wake up and enjoy whatever I'm doing that day, which is mostly nothing. It's either working out or watching TV or working or playing a video game. Even still, 11 o'clock, I was a tired boy. I showed up. I was tired. People started coming in. I was still tired. Time I left, I was the most tired I've ever been. I still couldn't get to sleep for some reason when I got back home. Tried watching Smurfs: The Lost Village. Boy, that'll put you to sleep. A Smurfs movie. Why does that movie exist? This isn't on the docket for what I wrote down on my notes, but why does that movie exist? Why do they want to go back for a third Smurfs movie, but not have it live action? Let it be CGI. And it didn't look good. It doesn't sound good. Let's look it up. Smurfs: Lost Village. I want to see who made this movie. I know the people in it included Rainn Wilson from The Office, which is very strange. Demi Lovato, couldn't even pick out her voice. Mandy Patinkin, Joe Manganiello, love that guy. Jack McBrayer, Danny Pudi, and that's the main cast. And then it's just all these other random Smurfs, which I assume these are Smurfs you've seen before. You've seen them in Smurfs 1, Smurfs 2. You've seen them in Smurfs TV show. But I don't understand who made this. I don't know. Columbia Pictures distributed it. Sony Pictures Animation. So they animated it. It looks fine. It's colorful, but it's not groundbreaking. It's nothing that's gonna stand the test of time. Directed by a woman named Kelly Asbury. Written by Pamela Rybon and Stacey Harmon. Let's see what Kelly's directed before. It wasn't a good movie. It's not a good movie. It's just sitting there. She was an additional story artist on Frozen. Oh, she's done a lot of Disney movies and DreamWorks movies. This is her first Sony film. She worked on a Little Mermaid. And then we got Pamela Rybon. She wrote Smurfs: Lost Village. She wrote Wreck-It Ralph 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet. So that's coming next year. Jesus. We'll see what happens with that. She also wrote Moana. Well, she was a story writer for Moana, so she wrote the story. And she executive story editor for Samantha Who. Mind him and see a producer. All right, I'm going to stop looking at this. Now I'm just building my morbid curiosity. It's morbid because the movie was bad. Anyway, let's move along. I'm still not done with it. It's been, I tried watching that movie on Thursday night. And then Friday night, I tried watching it too. I've been watching it before I go to bed, so it's been at 10-minute increments, and I don't know what's going on in this story. 5 of the Smurfs, Smurfette, Brainy, Hefty, and Clumsy, 4, so that's 4 Smurfs, went to this Lost Village, the titular Lost Village. It's not good. Don't worry about it. It's not good. Okay, anyway, moving on. Redbox is selling Disney downloads. This is what you can do. Go to Redbox. Redbox is the DVD distributor. You pay $1.29 or something like that. $2 if you want to do a Blu-ray like me. $3 if you want to rent a video game. Some of the latest games in there, and you keep it. You pay per day. It's great. I love it so much. I do it almost every weekend. Well, for the past 2 weekends, I've done it. Not almost every weekend. That's nowhere near that. And so now they're selling download codes for Disney movies. But this is great because Disney's movies anywhere. So those movies are available anywhere now. You can buy those. You can buy these movies and then put them on your Android phone and watch them on your Android phone. But what also is weird about it is that the prices are $7 at most for any of these movies. So Moana is $7. I think Inside Out is $4. Beauty and the Beast, the new one that came out this year or last year, whatever, doesn't matter. That's I think $5 or $6. It's crazy. But if I bought Moana right now, I could watch it for free on Netflix. But if I bought Moana right now on Blu-ray, it's like $20, and then for a digital download, it's $15. I think for HD on Google Play or on iTunes is probably that much money. It's insane. I don't know what's going on. And Redbox has not said anything about it. Disney hasn't said anything about it. So what are they talking? What are they doing? Is this just you only buy like 5 or 6? Let's go see which ones you can buy right now. As of this recording, these are the ones. These are the movies that you can go to, and you have to buy them at special Redbox. You can't buy them at all Redboxes. I can only buy it at 4 out of the 7 ones, I think. I don't know. Digital codes at the box. So you go to the website, go under the DVD and Blu-ray section, go to digital codes at the box. And it's only Disney movies for now. So you get Alice in Wonderland, Guardians 2, Moana, Beauty and the Beast, Maleficent, Inside Out, Jungle Book, Finding Dory, Doctor Strange, Rogue One, BFG, and Pete's Dragon. So that's 12 movies. I wonder why they chose those 12. I understand why they chose Star Wars and Doctor Strange and Guardians, just to test it out and see if people would like to do this with the... Let's see how much Guardians cost. Guardians 2. Oh, that movie sucks so much. I hate it. $10. Ooh. Ugh, no. But Moana, it's $7. So, yeah. So I guess they top out at $10. But Moana's $7. I click on buy it at the box. I can buy the Blu-ray for $7. I can buy a digital code for $8. I wonder if I buy the Blu-ray, will it get the... Okay. Anyway. I thought it's a very interesting prospect. I think it's a cool idea. And maybe they're just testing the waters to see what else can happen with this stuff. Anyway, let's move on. Yesterday, I had a day off. First day off in a couple weeks. And before that, first day off in a very long time. I saw the Lego Ninjago movie. Now, first of all, so I've said this before. I go to the movies on Sundays by myself. $5, 10 o'clock in the morning. $5. $5.50 actually. Early bird special. Cheapest you will ever get a ticket for unless you go to a dollar theater. And nobody wants to go to a dollar theater because I don't even like the dollar theaters. I don't even like dollar theaters. So, I go see this movie. Lego Ninjago movie. Let me say that it is not the most well-received, the best well-received of the Lego movies. The 3 that released in the theaters so far. I get it. I understand. For some, I'm not a fan of tomato meters and all that crap, but right now it's sitting at a 53%, and I get it. I've seen the consensus. The consensus is, despite ample charm and few solid gags, the Lego Ninjago movie suggests this franchise's formula isn't clicking like it used to. All right. Thing is, whoever wrote that critics consensus is pretty not on the nose there. It's not very funny. But the jokes it does have, they land nice solid bits. I like them. Good jokes. But it's not the Lego franchise is not a franchise. You don't call it the Marvel franchise. You call it the Star Wars franchise because it's all Star Wars movies. But you don't call it the Marvel franchise. Thor Ragnarok is vastly different than Iron Man 2. So don't call it that. All right, you don't call it the Justice League franchise. Doesn't make sense. Flash is going to be different from Batman versus Superman, which is different from Wonder Woman. Doesn't make sense. Just because it's a Harry Potter franchise. If it's all under one, what I'm saying is, if it's all under one banner, then yes, Bruce Banner, then yes, it is a franchise. But other than that, this Lego Ninjago movie didn't reference Lego Batman. It didn't reference the Lego movie. Now you could it's a spinoff. But you could possibly say that Lego Batman is a spinoff of the Lego movie because Batman was in that Lego movie. But Ninjago were nowhere near the other one. And there were no hints about the Ninjago and the other movies. So anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to the actual issues with the movie. Okay. So this movie is fine. It it had its moments. It was a father son tale essentially with Dave Franco and Justin Theroux, the Green Ninja, and then the bad guy Justin Theroux, Garmadon, essentially taking center stage. It's fine. It's okay. What I think the issue is that when Phil Lord and Chris Miller, when they made the original movie, they had I want to say, I don't know, I guess they had a vision in mind. But then when Lego and Warner Brothers see that we can have all these characters and then spin them off into their own thing, then I guess there's going to be an issue there. So with the Lego movie, the first movie was wonderful and it was funny and endearing and stuff because it was led by Lord and Miller, and they wrote the movie, they directed it, and then they produced it. But then Lego Batman lost a little bit of that charm because that script was touched by 5 people. I'm seeing 5 people right now on Wikipedia, even though it says it's produced by Phil and Miller. For Phil, I know a guy named Phil Miller, so this is really bothering me. Lord and Miller, even though the script, even though it's produced by Lord and Miller and directed by Chris McKay, it doesn't mean that it's gonna have the same charm and wit. I can right now, if someone gave me a script to, if I was tasked with writing a script to Seinfeld, I think I'd be able to hit the jokey beats, the same jokey beats that an episode of Seinfeld would hit. Same thing with The Simpsons. But if I was going to do my own thing, then that's when I would be able to write my own voice. If I wasn't writing something that's based on a template, then you could see that it's something that I already have in my brain. I don't know. I got lost there. So with this Lego Ninjago movie, here's one of the big issues I had with when I was watching the credits, because I love watching credits. It's directed by 3 different people. 3 different people. It's produced by Lord and Miller, and then they're joined by McKay, who directed Lego Batman, and then Roy Lee, and then 2 other people. Okay, and then so that's another issue. So Lord and Miller obviously aren't going to be there for every step of the process. I guarantee though that maybe Dan Lin was there, or maybe Roy Lee, or the Marianne Garger was there for the entire time. But same thing for the direction. Not all. Jesus, Chad, mute the computer. That's all you have to do. You have one job for this stupid idiotic podcast. Okay. So maybe so obviously not everybody's going to be there for every single day. And here's one of the biggest issues, which I had with what was the last movie I saw in theaters. Anyway, the screenplay. Screenplay was written by 6 people, 6 different, and they're all 6 different dudes had touched this, and only one of them has a Wikipedia page. So I understand that to be credited as a writer, and the only guy has a Wikipedia page, also co-wrote the screenplay for Puss in Boots. So I understand to be credited as a writer, you have to have touched the script for a certain amount. Or I guess you could ask. This is all gathered from podcasts and TV shows on the subject. But I guess one of these writers possibly could have just contributed 1 or 2 pages, or maybe several handfuls of jokes. Let's move on to, but it's, I don't know. All right. So here's the cast of the movie. We got Dave Franco, Michael Pena, Kumail Nanjiani, Abby Jacobson, Zach Woods, Fred Armisen. I could not even tell that was Fred Armisen. I couldn't even tell that was Michael Pena. Honestly, I don't think they gave enough people enough lines. I couldn't tell who was who. Olivia Munn. Olivia Munn was Dave Franco's mom. That's what? Randall Park. Oh, all right. And then, all right. So then after this, they started crediting everybody else. Okay. So anyway, who had a really good job is Michael Strahan and Robin Roberts. They did a fantastic job. So anyway, Lego Ninjago. Also, it's based on Ninjago's weird because, Batman is established. All of the other properties in the Lego movie were established, but Ninjago has only been around for 5 years or something like that. And they had a TV show on Cartoon Network. I don't think it's still going because Cartoon Network is trash. But I think so. The only sources you have to pull from, the only lore you have to pull from, is the Lego Ninjago TV show, which I'm sure nobody saw. So I guess this is kind of a reinvention I don't know. It's strange. Oh, and Jackie Chan was in the movie too. But I understand why it didn't do well at the box office. Just because it's Lego doesn't mean that everybody wants to see. I'm sure there are many conversations in the car where there was a Lego Ninjago commercial playing on Radio Disney or something, and a parent said, "Hey, Jimmy, you want to go see this movie?" And then Jimmy goes, "I don't know what the F Ninjago is." Daddy, all right, so just turn on a smooth jazz, please. And he puts a pipe back in his mouth and he just leaves. So anyway, I don't know. Lego Ninjago, go see it if you want to. I had a decent time with it, again, because I only rate movies based on if I had a good time watching it. I don't think there's going to be a sequel to this movie though. Lego Batman, I could definitely see a sequel, but I think the Lego movie's going to get a sequel. Well, of course it is in a couple of years, but I don't think Lego Ninjago is ever going to be touched again. Moving on. Here's another thing that happened. Saturday. Okay, so it's Halloween. All the TV shows and all the franchises are trying to get out all of their Halloween themed episodes. So why in the world did SNL first create a David S. Pumpkins Halloween special? I understand that last year Tom Hanks hosted, and that caught everybody by the storm. It was a surprising sketch. And it was very funny. I remember watching it live. It was very funny. I enjoyed it. Had a good time. And that should have been the end of it. Or they could have done an episode. They could have had him pop up, I guess, 2 weeks ago when Kumail was hosting. I say Kumail because we're friends. When Kumail Nanjiani was hosting. And they could have had him in the elevator and then him seeing David S. Pumpkins. They could have done that skit one more time. They could have flown Bobby Moynihan out, because I know he's shooting Me, Myself, and I in LA, but he definitely could have flown him out. So why did SNL create? And so I understand profitizing off of this popular thing, because Tom Hanks is great and everybody loves him, blah, blah, blah. And then I understand selling David S. Pumpkins suits for $70. I understand that. I understand selling costumes and stuff. But why create a Halloween special animated that was not good? It was not good, and I'm only halfway through. Actually, I am halfway through. It's not funny. It's not. I don't know who wrote it, and I'm gonna look it up. Let's see, Halloween special, and I'm not gonna review it because I'm just not interested. So, why did it exist? Dennis Perkins. Oh, Dennis Perkins reviewed it. I like Dennis Perkins. Oh, because he reviews SNL. That's right. He reviewed it for SNL, for AV Club. He gave it a C+. I don't understand why he gave it that high of a thing. But it's the animation is shoddy. The jokes fall flat all the time. Here's the cast though. It's Tom Hanks, Peter Dinklage, Bobby Moynihan, Mikey Day. The three of those people reprise roles, and the odd man out is of course Peter Dinklage. He's an older character. They modeled it after The Nightmare Before Christmas, and is that what it is? The night before. That movie is stuck in my head. That's the second time I've done that in as many days. They modeled it it's The Night Before Christmas, but Halloween stuff. And so essentially what they made David S. Pumpkins this Frosty the Snowman figure that the kids hang out with. They ransack houses and take candy. I don't understand it. It's just not funny. Cecily Strong was in it for a hot second, and I don't know. It's just not good. It wasn't good. Don't watch it. And also it aired at 11:30 at night. At the same time slot of SNL. This is and there's no curse words. This is a Halloween special for children. And why the heck did it air at 11:30 at night on a Saturday? That should have been. This is what NBC should have done. This is why NBC is just such a crappy network. This is what they should have. Again, NBC, I would love to create a show for you guys. So if you'd like to, just let me create a show, or let me guest star on The Good Place or Superstore. Anyway. That it aired at 11:30 p.m. on Saturday night. This is for children. This is what they should have done. Here's what they should have done. This is the moment I pressed record on my DVR and I saw that it was airing at 11:30. This is what they should have done. Thursday night, they postponed an episode of Superstore, postponed an episode of The Good Place, postponed an episode of Will and Grace. I know The Good Place is probably only going to be 13 to 16 episodes long this season because they're not going to do 22 episodes. I hope not, because that show is too good to have elongated seasons. But they should have postponed one of those shows for one night on Thursday night, aired that stupid special. They would have gotten better reception. I guarantee they got at least better reception because more people would have seen it. They would have had more eyes on the product. It doesn't make sense. Why would you air it? And now it's on Hulu, and that's the only time you can see it because on Tuesday night, NBC is airing The Voice. So they're not going to show that again. You're never going to see that again unless you recorded it or you have Hulu. It doesn't make sense. Whose choice was that? Maybe Lauren saw this and said, it's not good. And then he threw it to the wind and said, air it at 11:30. And no one's ever going to see it again. And then after that, they aired a 2-hour episode, Halloween special episode of SNL for just Halloween skits. It doesn't make sense. It baffles me as to why you would air a special meant for children at 11:30 at night. The only kids who would watch it are comedians who are growing up who weren't supposed to watch SNL. So that's people like me and all the other comedians that have their own podcasts and stuff. So it doesn't make sense. I don't know. It really bothers me. All right, and finally, I thought about this last week. Actually, no, Saturday. I was watching an episode of Arrow, the latest episode. I couldn't all week long. Watching the latest episode of Arrow. And I'm going to ruin it for you. Felicity and Oliver got back together. Oliver's not the Green Arrow anymore. Also, Diggle's the Green Arrow. So, and Oliver did it because his son is a little punk and he needs to grow up and learn how to fight his own battles. So those 3 things happened. And I'm fine with Diggle being the Arrow. I don't care. But having him and Felicity get back together for what's a 3rd time? Oh my God. What a waste. And so I'm thinking, who are the worst DC TV characters? Felicity's definitely up there because I genuinely hate her. I do not like her. The actress is great. Emily Bett Richards. Is that her name? Let's look. Let's find. Her name is Emily Bett Rickards. She's great. I love her. She's such a beautiful woman, and she's a decent actress. She can sell the role. She's funny sometimes. So my problem is there's a lot of dumb characters. Now, if I did this 3 years ago, it would have been Laurel Lance. But now that it's this, I love Katie Cassidy. She's the best character in the world. I think that they should continually have her on as the Black Siren. I'm sorry. I don't know why they killed her off, made her a bad guy, made her a Black Siren. That's a waste of my time. Oh, man. That sucks so much. Anyway, I'm also going to say Wild Dog is terrible on the show. I love the actor. He's great. He's in a lot of movies that I like Coach Carter. That's the reason I like him, because he's in Coach Carter. But Wild Dog sucks. All right. Rick Gonzalez, great actor. Wild Dog is a terrible, bad, horrible hero. All he does is shoot guns. Yeah. He wears a hockey mask. Okay. Gonna keep going. Oh, I also don't like Dinah Drake, the woman who replaced Katie Cassidy as a Black Canary. I don't like Dinah Drake. She's not a good character. Terrible, boring. Supergirl is definitely up there with Felicity. If I was gonna rank it, it'd be Felicity, Supergirl, Wild Dog. I dislike Supergirl so much. Melissa Benoist, great person, I assume. Supergirl is a terrible person. She's the worst character in the DC television universe. DCTU. I don't understand why if you're gonna have a show be about women, for women, by women, about feminism and stuff and being strong and stuff, why is every episode her saying, I'm weak, I can't do this, I love a boy, and I'm you know, we have Barry did that a lot on The Flash last season. He was a little bit sourpuss. But what's his name? Oliver never did that. We never have the Legends doing that. I've only seen one season of Legends of Tomorrow, and I have no plans on going back. Maybe we'll see what happens. And then also Alex is also a terrible, terrible, terrible. I don't like her coming out story. It was just lazy and sloppy. The actress is only okay. And also the tones, just like Flash, for some reason, Supergirl tries to go back and forth between serious and cartoony. Don't do that. Just stick with one and do it right, and then mix in some other aspects. And also, they miscast Superman. Superman's definitely one of the worst. I'm very mad they miscast. If you're going to make Superman, they hired a face before they hired a bot, Yeah, they hired a face before they hired a body. Superman is this big, giant, just 6 foot tall man. They hired this 5'10" scrawny guy, handsome guy. I don't understand it. Oh, they really called it the Arrowverse. I should pick somebody from Legends of Tomorrow. I'm gonna go ahead. See, I haven't watched that show so a lot, so I don't know. I want to say from Legends of, why is Mick Rory? Why is Heatwave still on Legends of Tomorrow? It doesn't make sense. He's a bad guy. Come on. Why is he still here? Also, that guy who acts is okay. Anyway, I'm gonna move on. I don't like this. The DC characters, they have a lot of issues. Moving on to our final topic: favorite comedians of all time. If you haven't known, I've been for the past couple of weeks. I've been going down, naming people, comedians that I really enjoy, I love to watch, and this is no exception. She's probably the first comedian besides Chris Rock and The Kings of Comedy, that movie. But this is probably the first comedian I watched. One of the first comedians I watched, Ellen DeGeneres. Now hold your applause. Ellen is a wonderful woman. I think she's a great stand-up, and I'm very happy for her to have a Netflix special. I'm very happy for her to get a nice chunk of change from Netflix. It's coming, I assume, this year or next year. Well, obviously it'll be next year if it's not this year, you idiot. So I'm very happy for her. Very excited. Very excited to see her come back. I will not be watching it, but I remember watching her, I think it was her HBO special, and I watched it on Comedy Central. I'm going to see what this is called. Ellen DeGeneres. I like how I whispered on mic. Oh my god. Okay. Let's see. Or maybe it was her Showtime special. I don't understand. I can't find it. Ellen DeGeneres. She is a homosexual. She's a gay woman, and she's married to Portia de Rossi. And I love Portia so much. Portia, if you don't know, was in Better Off Ted, one of my favorite canceled ABC shows. That show is so good, and no one knows because no one watched it. Oh my gosh, that show lasted for 2 seasons. I'm surprised it even did that. Was it ABC? Well, yeah, it was ABC. Okay, that's a great show. Anyway, let's see. Ellen. She had a TV show named Ellen. She's a great television actress. Obviously she's a good host. She never really had movie sellability. So obviously, Finding Nemo and Finding Dory, yeah, it's great and everything. And also, I don't think she has time now to do that. But she takes the summers off, so I don't know how she isn't in more movies. She's a great host. She can just get a show and just sell it. Where is her gosh darn Ellen stand-up specials? Oh my god, stand-up. All right, let's see what we got here. Stand-up special. Oh my god, guys, I should have had this up. This is why it's hard making. Okay, so Here and Now. I think that's what it was called. Yeah, her HBO special. No, that couldn't have been it. Here and Now? Is that what it's called? Is that the one I've seen? I don't know. Anyway, I watched it, and no, Here and Now. Is that the one where she came out at the end? Anyway, yeah. So I must have watched it on what's it called? Comedy Central, I think, or the beginning. It might have been it. Yeah. It was the one. It was one very early on. Anyway, I watched it. It was great. I loved it, and I didn't understand her joke. There's a joke she has. It's of course it's a closer, but it's a joke she has where she is doing, I guess, sort of an interpretive dance. She didn't change clothes or anything, so don't think that. She didn't change to a ballerina outfit, but she's doing like this interpretive dance. And I remember the audience laughing very hard. It was a song about her coming out, and the audience was laughing very hard, and I didn't get it. So I remember watching it and thinking, well, I don't understand it. Why are they clapping? Why are they enjoying themselves? But anyway, I think that was definitely one of the funnier ones. And so I really admire her talent, her ability to just sell a joke, just to go along with it. I know she does a show it's a family oriented talk show and everything, but it's a fun show. She manages to not alienate people. I think whereas Oprah was a talk show that kind of veered into serious topics, Ellen she's able to, and Ellen also gives her crowds gifts and stuff, but for Ellen, it's just a variety show. It's things to do. She plays games, I think, every episode. And this is me not having watched this show ever. I've never seen a full episode. I want to sing like 2 clips where she was hanging out with Michelle Obama and maybe something with Justin Timberlake. But I don't know. Ellen's just a wonderful, wonderful human being. She's very funny. And I think that we are all happy to have her here. Oh my God. Speaking of happy this crap is over. If you didn't know, this is the premier podcast for C Plus Comedy, but it's not the only thing available on C Plus Comedy. You can also head to the website, cpluscomedy.com, where we got the latest news, reviews, features, interviews, other good comedy bits that only I can provide you with. At some point, I will upload 3 reviews I have not written yet, but of 2 shows I've watched, White Famous, Smilf, and I Love You, America. We'll see what happens. I might not even do them all. Let's see what else we got. Got some interviews in the work, hopefully. Work. Yeah, I got 1 interview in the work. That's true. And let's see. Also, you can follow us on Twitter at C Plus Comedy. Follow me on Twitter at Chad Black White. Do it. I dare you. Follow C Plus Comedy on Twitter. I dare you. You ain't gonna do it. Punk. Weak. You can also, if you like hearing my voice, you want to see my voice, go to youtube.com/C Plus Comedy. Guess what, guys? There's a show there called News Time. This week's episode, horror and comedy's love connection and the subgenre horror comedy. A lot of horror comedy movies out there, guys, especially in the past couple of years. So you'll be surprised to know it started in the 20s with a movie called The Haunted House with Buster Keaton. That movie came out in the 30s. The Invisible Man with some other person I don't know. I think that came out in the 20s. Anyway, it's a great News Time story. It's short. I have no shirt on, so if you ever wanted to see me without a shirt, you want to see my nips, then go ahead and watch that episode. Okay. Thank you for listening. I very much appreciate it. Remember, follow us on Twitter at C Plus Comedy. Follow me on Twitter at White. Like us on Facebook. Head to the youtube.com/C Plus Comedy and go to the website www.cpluscomedy.com. This is great. I enjoy you here. All right. Bye.